halfway through here, and I have quite the video I am excited to do here. And it all starts with this. This is also here, but we'll worry about that later. I'll move it. This was the first order I placed from AliExpress, and it was stuck in customs for like a month. Oh boy, these are really stuck in here. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is quite soft. And then there's a second one here, because yes, I got two. And this little package, it's a little collar. And it says Nami. Storm Pup. That's because I am going to try and customize these plushies, well, one of them, into looking like my OC, who is named Nami. She is a Pembroke Welsh Corgi, and I found these. They're light, sandy colored corgis. The biggest thing that's missing, though, happens to be the tail, because Nami does not have a docked tail. So my idea was get two of these and basically cannibalize one for its material to make her fluffy tail. For right now, that is the general idea. So I went to the store and bought some long faux fur to use to make the tail, because long-tailed corgis have very fluffy tails. I got it in the package. And I got a Bernese Mountain Dog plush. Looks like the nose came off a little bit. This was about as close as I could find to being Tara. This is the Toys R Us Animal Alley. I thought it was actually a little bit bigger. I mean, look how big Nami's going to be compared to Tara. Well, we'll just say it's Tara's puppy. But either way, it has the big white stripe up the face. It's got the black belly. It doesn't have the white tip tail, and it doesn't have the caramel on the inner thighs, but it does have the caramel on the inner front legs. And I was thinking maybe I could like swap some of the fabric between them and see if that works. And on top of that, it's got a cute face. Lots of the other Bernese Mountain Dog plushies, you know, I was gonna say it, there aren't really good Bernese Mountain Dog plushies. So if you don't know, Tara's design is based on Roxy, my signature Bernese Mountain Dog. So that's why Tara has this thick white stripe, and it's got the white tip tail, black belly, caramel inner thighs, and Tara doesn't really have like any brown on her face, and that's one reason that she's been so hard to find, because all of them, they don't like to do this where it's just the muzzle's white. They like to like push it into the muzzle, and I get why. That's the way Bernese Mountain Dogs actually are, but it's not the way Tara is. I think I'm going to have to reprint her tag, because this is going to be way too big. And even then, I was thinking I was gonna have to do another reprint because Nami's a little big. I printed these out along with this one when I did all of the other pups tags for my Build-A-Bears. I even did Arby, and this one was a surprising nightmare. These are my Build-A-Bears up here. You can see they've got their plastic tags. But yeah, I modeled all of these myself, and actually later on, at first I've only modeled my OCs, but then I went back and did like all the pups, and when I did that I redid my OCs, and plus I had Nami. Hers was a pain in the butt, but it's it's done now. Well, I've got the faux fur here, and talking about, you know, Nami and now a Tara plush. I would like to get a Byte plush too. He should be simple enough. He's just a white dog, and I could color in the yellow stripes. So I did some research, and apparently people were saying that alcohol ink markers work well for fabric, and so I got this one. It's the Milky White, because I thought it looked like the right color for Byte, but getting it, it looks so orange. Finding Byte's exact color is really hard, and now I spent like $8 on a marker that I'm never going to use, and I hate it, and I'm pretty sure you can't return markers. Yeah, they're definitely not as good as the fabric marker I got. I actually got two of these because they were $2, and these are Tulip. They don't require heat to set, and I really like this. But yeah, that's kind of where we're going right now. Her whites weren't very bright, so I figured I'd wash her, and can't really see much in this light, but I was like, her nose is totally gonna fall apart in the wash, and yeah, I was right. I do have to decide which one of these I'm going to use, and to be honest, at first I kind of liked this one more, and it just has a cleaner body, I guess. But as you can tell by the one I have the collar on, I just think this face is cuter. The eyes are closer, the markings are a little more rounded under the eyes like Nami's, and I think this is the one that I am going to turn into Nami. But I also don't think I've gone over everything that I'm going to do to this plush, so obviously the main thing is the long tail. So I am going to cut off this little nubbin, and I'm thinking I might be able to reuse this little nubbin's fur for the tail, but if not, sorry. Second thing is Nami has a little more white right here. It goes out in a triangle shape, kind of like this. So that's another thing that I have to do, which... Sorry. Then she also has a white stripe that goes down and ends off probably about right here on her head. Nami doesn't have whisker dots, so I am going to try and get this off. It's airbrush. I always call it coloring because I can never remember what the name for airbrush actually is in the moment. Either way, this stuff normally just comes off really easy with a little bit of water, so I should be able to take like a damp paper towel and just scrub it off. And I kind of want to do the same thing for inside the ears. You can see it's kind of clumped and it's... yeah, it's not very soft. And the last thing that made my mom have to leave the room when I was explaining it to her, I'm closing the mouth. I don't know why they make so many critters with open mouths. I don't like that. In case you're wondering how you cut faux fur without like cutting all the fur up to pieces, she did this at the fabric store. She made a little notch in the fabric, and then she just kind of... I should have pointed out because when she did that I was like, whoa! But yeah, time to get to work. Yeah, I made a little shorter than I would have wanted. It was supposed to kind of look like this. This is a ref, by the way, that you've probably already seen throughout the video. And actually, I'm kind of wondering if I should do anything about the bottom here because the white ends here, and obviously it's just... I mean, I'm right here. I could just snip, and then add, and then so that way it doesn't... You know what? I'm right here. I'll do it. That took more time than I wanted, but it's there. She now has a white butt. There's the tail. All attached. I don't know, I might end up redoing it a little bit. I feel like it needs to be a little more narrow at the base, and then it needs to be a little longer. Close? No. I know it's really late, and I have work in the morning, but I decided to redo the tail, and for some reason I felt like I should do it right now. So I do all this, and I measure it, and it's not longer than the last one. As per my friend's suggestion, I put a pipe cleaner in there, and now the thing is much more posable. As you can see, if I do like this, it kind of stays like that. I am once again here to announce that I no longer like the tail. I just want this tail to be done. I'm just thinking maybe I should do the fabric marker stuff before I attach the tails. That way, you know, when I'm brushing the excess off, I don't get more on the tail where I don't want it. I'm half nervous to do it because, you know, after I do it, if I do it too bad, then that's that. Well, I guess now or never. Honestly, the back looks really good. I know what you're thinking, it just looks like it's on the top. That's what I was going for. So not too happy with the ears, but it works and it was really about the best I could do. The first thing I want to do though now is remove some airbrush. And I did some tests on the other corgi. The pink came off the ears really well, but I couldn't get the whisker dots off. For some reason I just can't get them off. So, and as a little reminder, this is just water. I'm not using any other chemicals or anything. So here is the new tail. It's longer, it's not lopsided. All that's really left to do is attach it, and I definitely think this is the last tail. Tails aside though, I got a Douglas. Here we go. I have never owned a Douglas before, but oh my goodness. I've got Nami, I've got Tara, and now I've got a Byte. So this is the Douglas Pomsky. This one has the right eye color, the right nose, ears, and it even has the curly tail that's stupidly fluffy. My only complaint was that it was so tiny, but actually seeing it here, it's bigger than I thought it would be. I think actually out of these guys, Byte is the biggest. He's a Canadian Eskimo, which they're bigger than Huskies. Yeah, he's not an American Eskimo. American Eskimos are tiny. I don't know, I have to treat him like a Samoyed, even though he's not a Samoyed, but... Did you find your paper toy? She may or may not have started stealing... She's been stealing my... pipe cleaners. So I gave her that, and you can see I rounded the edges so it wouldn't be stabbing her, but she... You want it? You want it? Yeah. What are you looking at? There's nothing there. Okay. She's going after my phone charger. Okay, well, and there we have a tail. It is attached! And while it's not the most posable thing in the world, because I mean it's, you know, it's kind of heavy and pipe cleaners have their limitations, I can indeed pose it. You know, it's got some bounce. It moved on its own. That's because there's like no stuffing right here at all. Was totally worth the 3 attempts that it actually took. The next thing that I actually want to do is I want to close the mouth. But that should be big enough for me to pull out some stuffing and then be able to pull the mouth closed. That's a closed mouth. And now I am going to be doing a lot of 3D printing, and Nami's like the only one that's in multiple versions to try and get like a fade. And I'm also gonna try out ironing because I updated Slicer and now I can see ironing. Like if I go into it, ooh. And for the record, if I turn off ironing and slice again, this is what the top would look like. I don't know how ironing works. I don't know what it does. All I know is it's supposed to make everything really silky smooth, and I am excited to try it. And that looks pretty good. Well, that was several hours, but here we go. First of all, first time using ironing, but look at the top edges. Look how smooth that is. Oh my god. So now the next step is to just take my knife and do the post-processing. If you guys ever wonder why this knife isn't sharp, it's because I do this with it, like, a lot. It just looks so good on my girl. My mom does not like the mouth being closed. It looks like it's stuck on a lemon. I mean, who needs trolls on the internet to insult you when your mom can do it better? Just gonna work on extending the back piece. I'm just gonna extend the white to like just another inch or so. And this was colored, and I know there's no way to replace it, so just in case I mess up, I'm not going to cut any of this. I'm just gonna tuck it under. So here's how that turned out. So the shape is pretty good. I am a little disappointed that the seam is kind of visible. I didn't want it to be very visible, but I'm just gonna say that's good enough for now, and maybe I'll think of a solution later. So Byte and Tara's collars came, and they're just these cheap little faux leather collars. And of course Byte's is black and Tara's is purple. I had to like really look to get a dark purple. Black is easy, purple is not. They're also really long. Actually, maybe I could even technically just like cut this part off and then just like stitch it. Okay, so here's how these turned out. I measured them, cut them, and then made a little hole and put a rivet in. I didn't know my mom had rivets, but she did. Yo, look at my boy! Oh my gosh. Yes, this is so perfect. So I got this other brand of fabric markers to try and get a color for Byte. And it actually wasn't a half bad price. The only thing about these ones is that they technically have to be heat set, I believe. This is the test swatch that I did, and actually, it came out pretty well. For comparison, this is what the Copic one looks like. And while this isn't very evident on camera, I hold these two side by side and they are very different shades. So I think this might work for Byte, but I have to see how it dries. That's the idea right now. I have all the supplies I need. I have a plush for everyone. So what the heck is this then? Guys, I saw this and I had no self-control, okay? Itches! Oh my god. This was only like $10 and I saw it and I'm like, oh my god, a Byte. I mean, obviously the Douglas is better as my official Byte plush, but look at that fat thing. Look at it. Well, I did it. I broke a needle. Like everything with this plush, I went ahead and redid it. It still sticks out some, and you know, not too bad considering I haven't really worked on this plush in just like 4 months. Other side, complete. So if you look at it, this side definitely came out better. And I think I'm just gonna do top of her head. I did have this thing where I was thinking maybe of doing little paw pads out of felt, but I do admit I love the tail. The tail took so long, but I love it. I am going to finish this today. All I have left to do is this stripe. Nami's stripe goes up, it gets wider in the middle, and then narrows all the way down and stops right about here. Still might redo this, but that'll be the main bit done.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.
I was trying to tie the knot and one of the strings broke.
The storms we chase are leading.
Okay, you ready for this? Here we go. She's got the nice big white stripe, and look at it. I don't exactly like how it kind of edges off here. That was my fault. It's okay. It's still good enough, I think. But I'm kind of thinking maybe now I want to do another thing. Oh, that just looks so. Yeah, I have to do toe beans. The more I look at it, the cuter it is. Okay, toe beans. You know what? No, it wasn't okay. It was never okay. This looks so much better. After I get this foot done and I take the pins out, then I think I'm gonna try and fix this. I am going to have a blister on my finger, but beans! I'm still half tempted to replace a little bit of this fur right here with white to give some white fluffy cheeks, but for right now, beans. I fixed it. Okay, so I stitched the first fluffy cheek in. I don't know how I feel about it. And I stitched the other cheek too. So yeah, I don't really know how to feel about it. I don't know if it was really worth the work, but you know, that's all of Nami's markings. And that means she's done! I have a finished Nami plush. Oh my god. This means today I am going to finally do Byte, because Byte will be easy enough. Color and Byte next. I'm actually going to do this one first because I haven't colored in a while.
The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways.
With fur like this, it is really hard to get an even color coating. For some reason, this is coming out both red and tan at the same time. I did a little test, and apparently this side, which is the thicker side, it's coming out a lot more red than this side. So I'm just gonna try having to use this fine tip. Turn out the way I wanted. I already stitched back up what I had to rip and cut, but it's just the color's not very even. I feel like this type of fabric just doesn't translate it very well. It's a type of fabric that looks like you need a solid even color, and this just didn't work for it. It's dry enough to touch, so I think I'm going to put the scarf back on. How does it have so much cat fur on it already? Oh my god. Okay, I'm kind of nervous, but I need to stop pulling it off. I went ahead and I tried to wipe some of the black off around the ears, so if it looks a little bit lighter, that's why. Didn't really do that good of a job though. Okay, I think this time I'm not gonna do the whisker dots. I'm going to try maybe and stitch them on, because to be honest, this does not look that good.
My about to drown. I need that story I used to hear, to run on and to end disappear. I won't lie down and I won't, I won't lie down, and I can't do this without you. I won't lie down and I won't, I won't lie down, and I can't do this without you. Your stories, they come from the heart, glue me together and tear me apart. Your stories, they come from the heart, glue me together and tear me apart. I won't lie down and I won't, I won't lie down, and I can't do this without you. I won't lie down and I won't, I won't lie down, and I can't do this without you. Your stories, they come from the heart, glue me together and tear me apart.
Okay, so there is the coloring done on Byte. Wow. I'm just happy I colored the right foot, and I was actually kind of worried the pink ears wouldn't look good, but no, they do. So I'm gonna give this the A-OK to start working on the feet. I think I'm gonna sew some toes, probably sew a mouth and the little toe beans.
We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go.
And that is Byte done! The whiskers aren't as visible as I would have liked. Oh well, the coloring looks good. And the paw pads, well, I found out the struggles of sewing felt on fur. Also, don't look too closely at this pad because it's kind of twisted. You know what? We're gonna stop nitpicking this. It's good enough. Felt is hard, and I don't want to do it again. And now it's time for Tara. I'm gonna briefly go over what I'm gonna do with her. First things first, Tara has a white tip tail. This should be fairly easy. I'm just gonna cut off the tip here and replace this with some white faux fur. And I'm going to use this black fabric from the tail and use it to patch this into solid black because Tara does not have any caramel on the side. So, and then I am going to take the caramel fabric from the inside of the front legs and swap it with the inside of the back legs because this can't be black, it also needs to be caramel. And I'm thinking I might take some of this and add around under the eyes. Tara is a weird Bernese where the caramel doesn't go up the side of her snout, it goes from her eyes around her muzzle. So it does kind of bother me that this also sticks out to the side a little bit. It's uneven, so I might try and fix that a little bit. So we'll see how this goes. Realize why the top of the head is lopsided. If you look, the fabric isn't tucked underneath. They sew this directly on top. It's not folded around, so
we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we
Honestly, I'm not the most happy with how this came out. I think Nami and Byte came out so much better than Terra. And there's a few factors holding this back, such as this plush was used. Toys R Us went down a long time ago, and you're not going to find a bunch of brand new Animal Alley plushies. Also, the fabric switching did not go as smoothly as I wanted it to, because the material isn't completely perfectly, kind of pushes the feet in different directions. I mean, I look at this and it's Terra. It's still Terra. It's just one day I might see if I can get a different plush for Terra, but for right now, this one's not bad. I spent a lot of time on it, and it certainly looks like Terra for the most part. The only thing is, Terra has a lot more white on her feet, but this is close enough. And that will just about do it for this video. That was a loud bird. I got close to custom-made plushies of my Paw Patrol characters, and they turned out pretty good, I think. We can overlook Terra a little bit, but if I ever get around to doing a part 2 to this, that'll be making their uniforms. Do I know when that'll be? Absolutely not. Just these plushies alone took like 9 months, and I would have to do 3D modeling and printing and painting. Oh my god, I hate painting. But for now, I think that's good enough. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Later. This thing's so funny.
The shadow turns to sun